Has this stopped again? No? Okay, so why can't I see this in here when we go live? I'm so confused right now. Yep. Okay. Right. You gonna work for me now? Or are you gonna freak out again? Java. Right. Okay. Are we live? Is the audio working? Test, test. Okay. Yep, are we live? Is the audio working? Turn that guy off so we don't have echo. Pop this chat out. Let's put our stream music on. Whoa, it's a bit loud. Turn that way down. Okay. That should be a pretty decent audio level. Radio. Yeah, so tonight we are building scroll bars. So I'll just boot up the game. Hey Skrillex. Wow, you were straight in. Started streaming like 10 seconds ago. Alright, so in the crew panel... No, not crew. This thing here, this is the dock panel, which doesn't actually do anything right now. This is what we're going to be working on. So I want to display like a bunch of information in here about things you can buy. And I'm thinking that sometimes there might be more stuff available than will fit on the screen. So we kind of want to implement scroll boxes, and then we can just display as much stuff as we want, and the box will just adjust its scroll bar size to compensate for those things. So we need to make a new class. I might just swap these pages over so it's a little bit easier to see what's going on here. I think this is going to go in graphics hard. Suppose the best way to do this is probably to modify our panel class and make a type of panel that's like a scrollable. Let's call it a scroll panel, I guess. I was going to call it a scroll box, but Probably should keep the word panel in there because that's what it is. Right, public. And let's take a quick look at this class here. Hey, Lally, thanks. I'm not sure, it's a bit weird for my headphones. But I think it's just because it's like capturing my mic. Hopefully it sounds alright for you guys. So this class, what can it do? We can render, we can move, which we don't yet in the whole game, but it's a nice thing to have. And we can set position, and this just does some basic stuff. Alright, yeah, cool. Good, that's good to hear. So I think how this is going to work is we want it to be like... I'll just open up a panel real quick so we can see. Right, so like in this panel here. Cool, cool. Yeah, I just didn't want it to be too loud. Right, so all of these things are components, right? So if we wanted to have this text scrollable, should use the same method as like these buttons or these blocks. So we kind of want anything we can display in the HUD, we want to be able to scroll it. And that shouldn't be too hard because these are all components. They all fit in here. So I don't actually think this is going to be too hard. All we need to do, right, is make let's just have one quick look at this render method. See how this actually works, right? We just get our components and we tell it to render. So we might need to modify this slightly. But that's alright. That's no problem. So basically how it's going to work. We need a public void scroll left and make the same for right. And we're going to make a really simple int. Actually, I just had a thought. Maybe we'll make this, if we only do this, then the scroll boxes can only be left to right. But if we add in like a direction, let's make it a Boolean. Probably the simplest way to do it. It's like this. What's the problem here? Public. What are you mad about? Does this base class not have a default constructor? No, it does. I'm just gonna ignore that. Keep it going. It's probably angry because this isn't commented out. Yeah, there we go. Calm down, Java. Everybody relax. It's just Java freaking out. So let's set Boolean here. Make a private Boolean. Vertical. This vertical is equal to the new vertical. Right, and then so if we're vertical, we scroll vertically. If we're horizontal, we scroll horizontally. scroll up. Scroll down. Let's go back to this int that we were making here. So this can be private int for you know what, let's make it different. Let's make it a vec2i. And we'll call this scroll pos position equals a new vec2i. So if we scroll left, then we just set scroll position x to be minus minus. I'm going to change this to a vec2d so that we can have more control over our scroll speed. Like if we make an int here, if this is an int, then we're going to have to do like 1 pixel step per time, and we might not necessarily want to do that. So let's make a private double called scroll speed, and we'll set it to be 0.5. And now we just plus equals, or minus equals rather, our scroll speed. Oh, we need to import vec2d probably. Yep. Let's make these all one-liner functions. Right, scroll plus equals to go right. Change this to be a y for the vertical. And up is negative, I think, so that should be fine. Cool, okay. Now, if what we'll probably do, actually, is back in our screen class, we'll make a new render method for our scroll boxes. So public static void render a scroll box, and it will take a scroll box in. Actually, we call it a scroll panel. Yeah, let's try and be consistent throughout this document. Scroll panel. Scroll panel. Panel. Cool, and then we'll fill this in later. But right now in here, we're just going to go override our other method. So public void render. We should get this little green override arrow. Yep, good. We'll just call this method we just made. Render a scroll panel. Render this. Right. So here we basically just copy our other method. Let's just jump to that from here. Okay, let's just direct copy this. Except here, where we call component render. Actually, this might be a little harder than I anticipated, because each component has its own specific render method. So unless we go back and add in offsets to all of these methods, that could be a nightmare. I don't actually think that's a good idea. Let me just think for a second. What's going to be the best way to do this? See, I almost want to just get rid of this and custom render every component, I suppose, which is a bit not good. Oh, this song sounds a bit lame. Let's just jump to the next one. Right, so we were doing this render thing. Yeah, this is actually really not good, because the reason this is a problem is if I call render like this, it's going to get the render method for whatever type of component it is, which is good because different components are going to need different methods. But it's also bad because now we're kind of Alright, let's try and tackle this a bit of a different way. We'll just comment this out. We might come back to this later. This could work, but I don't think it's the best way to do it. So, comment that. Jump back in here. Let's just comment this out too. Keep that in the bank for later. Just gonna have a little sip of my drink here. Okay. So what if we just, when we scroll, let's make another function, the private function, update component. Actually, I'm not going to call it update because that would, all of our update functions get called 120 times a second, and we don't want to call this 120 times a second. So let's just make it called set component offset. And then after each one of these, we just do our set. Okay, and then in here, we want to make a for loop from 0, I is less than components dot size. Can I spell today? Oh my gosh. Component. What is wrong with me? Let's just be super lazy and copy that. Too many E's, I think. Dot size, I++. And then let's get I set position. Move, maybe move. Yeah, this is where these move functions might come in handy. So this just calls move left. And what did that actually do again? Does it just add to our position? Add value. Yeah, it just adds our value. Okay. So that could be good. Let's call scroll position. I actually really don't want to set it either. So if we move by, the problem is if we move by this amount, the scroll position, this is going to be getting larger every time we call scroll left. And then it's going to be like, at first it will add 1, then it will 2, then 4, and it's going to be getting like accelerating basically the more we scroll, which is not what we want to happen. So probably a better way of doing this is to pass in our... Do we need it? We don't even need to pass it. All we can do is just... No, we will pass it, in fact. So we'll pass in a double value, and then we'll get rid of this, and then get rid of this, and then we'll pass in the negative of our scroll speed, right? And then this just calls dot move left. No. Yeah, so move is directional. Let's make a non-directional move function. So back in here, in HUD component, we want to just make a public void move, and that takes probably a vec 3D vec, and then we'll just say this dot position x plus equals vec x, and this dot position y plus equals vec y. What's the problem here? Oh, I put the semicolon on the wrong side of the bracket, and we probably need the curly braces, not a round bracket. All right, now back in here, we should be able to call this move vec, and this will be this vector here. We're going to change its name. Scroll offset. Yep, continue. Move scroll offset. So let's say this passes in our value, which is our negative scroll speed. Oh, I almost want to put in a direction on this. So this would be a lot easier if we'd made two types of scroll panel, one for vertical, one for horizontal. But I don't want to do that, just because I don't know, trying to be a little bit smart about it, and then we can just have one class for everything. But this will need to take a direction. Right, and then this can also say, probably just get rid of this value, just give it a direction, and this will be directions dot left. copy this. Okay, now we're going right, up and down. Okay, now this is starting to come together. So if we move, we want to not use this. We want to set a new... Actually, maybe we can use that. Yeah, and then we don't have to create a new vector every time we do this. We'll just set our scroll offset. So set with doubles. Right now, probably make a little switching statement. Let's just switch on our direction. Default case. Some of these we don't need. We don't need them. Don't need length. We don't need these. Right. And let's make these all one-line functions so that they're nice and tidy. And add an error message here, just in case we get an invalid switch value. Error print line actually. Error in the scroll panel class. I like to do this, just makes it a little easier to track down when there is an error where you need to like look for it. So we're looking in set component offset, and the error was invalid switch value, and we can even print the value into that line, and then we'll know straight away what went wrong. Cool. Right, so if it's down, let's scroll offset. Set with doubles, not vectors, and we want to set it to be now what did I say down was? Positive. Scroll speed. Yeah, that's good. Okay, paste, paste, paste. So this is, let's do it up, down, left, right. Yep. Up is negative, and then left is also negative. And this will be 0, and this will be positive scroll speed. Cool. So how this works. So let's say we scroll left. This sets our component offset. So this jumps into here. And this is going to run through all of our components. We actually want to do this outside of the loop. We don't want to do that for every item. We just want to do it once. So the plan is this will set it, then we come to our loop, and then this goes into every component that belongs to this panel, and it's going to move it by this thing that we've set here. Cool. Public void render screen to render scroll panel. This. Okay. So I think we're ready for a test almost. We don't need this anymore. Yep. Get rid of that. Now, I've just realized there's another issue here in that HUD panels can't hold panels. They only have components, which this is not. This is a panel. So we're going to need like sub-panels within our panels, which could get a bit messy. Just from a logical point, when you start thinking about like panel of a panel, could get a little bit confusing, but This is probably still the best way to do it. So these are going to be HUD panels. Sub panels equals a new array list. Right, and now let's make sure we update those and render them as well. If we, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this. I'm kind of hesitant to do this. I think it might be better to just make a panel on the fly, but then it has no owner. Well, we'll just carry on and we'll see how we go. We might end up changing this later. Right, and when we render our HUD panel, let's also make sure we render our sub panels. Sub panel. Did I call it panels? Panels, maybe? What's the problem here? Maybe I made it private. No? Sub panels? Oh, I typed sub panels. Right. So we render our sub panels, and let's just make sure that doesn't crash the game. Cool, no worries. So, let's jump back to our class that we're building. Right, the dock panel, this thing here. First of all, let's make sure we can actually see this thing. So let's go to our HUD, and let's build one of these. Static, make it a dock panel. Make sure we init this, dock panel equals new dock panel. Cool. Now, if we, how do we set it? We're going to need a setter. So HUD panels. Make sure that this knows about. Oh, I already did this. Good. Okay, we already know about dock panels. Good. So then in here, we don't have a case for it. Yep. Let's make a new case. Whoops. What did I just press then? How did I do that? I've been trying to work out the hotkey to auto build for like a day now. I've just done it by accident. Right, so if case is dock panel, let's just copy this template and modify that. We want to reset the game speed. Yep. So set this to be our dock panel. Dock panel. Dock panel. And dock panel. Right, now we need to make sure our button actually triggers this method. So when we go to, what is it, ship system panel? Right, so when we press our dock button, I've already done this too. It will work. Okay. Yep. All right, let's see if we can see it. Now we'll need to power it. add a dock like that. Now this should be powered. Yep. Cool. That's what we wanted to see. Just a kind of semi-opaque gray window. And we should be able to close it. We're not able to close it for some reason. So what's up with that? If active, oh, right, I didn't change this to be dock. Right, now that will close as well. Let's add a little bit of stuff in here. Let's add our new scroll panel, see if that works. So we want to go sub panels, add. You know what, I'm actually going to make an adder method. And that way when we add it, we'll just add the offset of our parent panel. Oh, but that's not going to apply if we move the parent. Yeah, all right, we'll worry about this later. Let's just do a test. So sub panels, add new scroll panel. We'll just call it test panel. Let's actually make this outside of here. Let's make a scroll panel, test panel, equal that. Right, and then just put test panel in here. Okay. Now this is not going to have anything in it, so we won't know if it's actually worked. Let's try add some. I don't know, it doesn't matter, we could add anything. I guess let's put a button in there. Maybe we just do an image to test. HUD image. Is that what I called them? Maybe I called them HUD icons. Let's turn this music down a fraction. There we go. HUD. Yeah, so what did I actually call this? Yeah, it's a HUD image. Test image equal new HUD image. What does this need? This probably needs it needs a parent, a position, and the image. So its parent is going to be our test panel. The position can be, we'll just put it at like 100, 100 for now. Actually, let's go 500, 500, so we've got a bit more room to play around with. And then the image can just be like a random sprite sheet. We'll just get something from the sprite sheet. Let's just pick like, shoot, what do we got? Let's just stick in a moon. Why not? Moons dot get random sprite. So we'll just draw a random moon. Make sure we add this to our actual panel. Test panel, add component, test image. Dock. Okay. It drew an image, but not the correct image. So this is our main panel. This is our sub panel, which got drawn. So that's good, but then our sub panel does not have its button rendering. Right, let's just relocate the panel a little bit. Test panel, set position to also be 500, 500. Oh, this probably needs to be a vector. Why don't I just make a non-vector version of this function? That would be smart, wouldn't it? This takes a double x, double y. Position x equals x, y equals y. Cool, and then we don't have to worry about making vectors all the time. Right, so something's wrong with our image, clearly. So we added our sub panel. Test panel gets the test image, and then this gets our test panel. So that is strange. Maybe there's a problem with this sprite. Maybe we should try a different sprite. Let's try just get a random button, like a main menu button. Get sprite at 0, 0. Yeah, okay. Well, there's our button, so that works. So there was just a problem with that sprite. And that looks to be about 500 off, because from there to there is roughly 1080. So that would be 500 to there, and then another 500. Right, but obviously scroll doesn't work at all. So, scroll, how do we want this to work? Realistically, you probably want to test for the mouse's position, and we want to see, because we only want to scroll when our mouse is inside of our scroll box, right? So if we bring that back up, oh, why did I make it quarters? We want a dock. Right, like if I'm scrolling over here, and there could be 4 or 5 scroll boxes here. So I don't want them all to move at the same time. We only want the one that our mouse is in to actually get the effect of scrolling. So this scroll panel, where'd that go? Scroll panel. This is going to need a custom update method, I reckon. Let's take this as our base and build on top of this. Right, so we will update our components, that's fine. We'll update our sub panels, that's fine. Now we want to probe for the mouse, basically. We want to say, if, hang on, does this have a render position? No. So we're just working from position. Okay, that's fine. So if might just make a let's look at the mouse class quickly. Does this have mouse position available? Yeah, okay. I might make a private static. Static? Yeah, we'll keep it static. Vector 2i mouse screen pos equals a new vec2i. Right, and then it's private, yep. And then we'll make a public getter, like a public static screen pos. It's not going to be void, it's going to be vec2i, so that we can actually return our thing. And we're just going to go ahead and set the position x equal to is that a function? Yep, that's a function. Good. Whoopsie doopsies. Right, so we've set the position, and then we just return this, right? Cool. Now, let's jump back to scroll. I've got too much stuff open here. Let's close everything, close others, and just tidy up a bit. All right, scroll, panel. So we want to say vec2d mouse pos equals new vec2. Oh, actually, we made it a vec2i, didn't we? Yeah, so let's just keep it consistent and make these vec2i's as well. And then here we go ahead and say mouse pos equals mouse dot get screen pos. Right, now if mouse pos dot x is greater than position dot x and mouse pos dot y, oh no, dot x is so it's greater than our top left side. Whoopsie doops. What does sticky keys even do? I've never once in my life used sticky keys, but like I always accidentally turn it on. So if we're greater than the position and we want to be less than position x plus width. Right, is that works? Yep. Although this is not great, we don't want to be doing this 120 times a second. So let's set let's just make some like x1 stuff. x1, x1, x2, y1, y2, and these are going to be our corners. They can be integers. And then we'll just set them if we move. So let's make a private function void set corner pins. Right, so x1 obviously just equals. Do we even need x1 and y1? We'll leave them there for consistency. Position x. Position x plus our width. What are you mad about? Cast to int. Yeah, that's fine. You can cast that to an int. Right, and then now y1 equals int position y. Is this gaming developing game? I don't understand the question. What do you mean? Alright, position Y plus height. Cool, so then let's, why do you only have a GTX 1060? Oh, with that CPU RAM combo. Well, I mean, you don't need a great graphics card to do a lot of stuff, right? You only need a graphics card to play games. So a lot of the time I'm just like rendering stuff, working on my PC. You know, I don't really care about having a great graphics card. This is the game anyway. You know, you don't need a 360 Ti or something to run this. Yeah, not the way I dev, buddy, because I just write everything straight into code. Like if I was using yeah, like I get what you're saying. If I was using like what are those one of those engines called? Unreal, for example, right? If I was using Unreal, I'd probably get a better graphics card. But you know, I'm just writing everything directly in Java. Now, are these corner pins? When do we actually want to set them? Probably after init, like right here. Where's our constructor scroll panel? Yeah, right here. Let's set corner pins. And then back here, instead of doing this, we can use those corner pins. So we're not wasting calculations every frame. So this will be, get rid of this too. This can be x1. This can be x2. So if this and mouse pos y is greater than y1 and mouse pos y is less than y2. So if all of these things are true, then our mouse is inside our panel. And then this is where we want to test for mouse button. Now I can't actually remember what the buttons are. So we'll just do a quick little print line here to see what they actually are. Let's just go print line. Oh, actually, no, not here. Not in get button. Where do we actually set it? Yeah, here we go. Mouse pressed. System out. Print line. Pressed. And we want to put e.getButton. What? Maybe it's e.getEvent. Maybe we have to go button event. How do I get this in a readable format? ToString? No? What do we got? What do we have here to play with? We've got point, when, blah, blah, blah. None of these. ToString? What does this do? Returns a string representation of this object. Yeah, let's see if this works. And we need to sing a plus in here. So now we should be able to see button events. Okay, it's annoying that it's got all this other junk in here. Let's just bring this back up. So, okay, mouse wheel is apparently not a button. Click in counts, but scroll up and scroll down is not working. Might just need to have a quick look at the Java definitions for mouse. Let's jump into this and look at scroll. Can we control find? Not once? You don't mention scroll once in this whole document? Mouse wheel. Let's have another look at this mouse event thing. What are we overriding? We're overriding pressed, released, entered, exited. So these are the only functions it has. I'm gonna just do a quick Google here and see how we actually get our mouse input from the scroll wheel. Oh, do we need a whole separate listener? Oh, come on, Java, that is basic. I think we need a whole separate... Oh my god, we do. I'll just show you guys what I'm looking at here. So we need another listener like this. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, that's cool. And then what? I'm assuming we need to, like, what do we talk about implementing? Yeah, which implements mouse wheel listener interface. And then we can create a mouse wheel event. Okay, okay. So can our mouse class just have another implementation? If we just go like mouse wheel listener. And what's your problem? Add on implemented methods. Let's have a look at those. Yeah, is that? That's not what I wanted, is it? Mouse wheel moved. Which is here. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So when this happens, let's mouse wheel event. So this is actually different from our mouse event. So we're going to need another thing here. No button. Yep, cool. That is the thing. Let's pop this chat back up. I can't actually see anything in the chat. There we go. Cool. So now when we have an event, let's just set and we can also get rid of this line of text. We don't need that anymore. Handled is false. And mouse w equals e dot get button. And we'll put our system out down here so we can see what buttons they are. Actually, I don't even think we need to do that because we can probably now go like mouse wheel event. Yeah, and we can just access them from here. Cool. So now if we jump into our scroll thing, Right, so let's not worry about this if statement for now. Let's just go ahead and see if we can actually get our buttons. So system print line mouse wheel plus mouse dot get. Oh, we didn't make a getter. Duh. Where are our getters? Get button. Yeah, we'll put it here. Get wheel return mouse W. Oh yeah, we don't have to worry about resetting. That's something totally different. Mouse dot mouse wheel. Cool. See if we can get this working now. Probably need the panel open. Oops. Quickly drop in a dock. Now. Yeah, cool. We're getting mouse wheel 0 every time though, even when it's not 0. So that's a problem. Let's copy that line of code. Watch what happens when it actually gets triggered. So this is just mouse W. Right. So we're not getting anything. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something here. I feel like we need to add to the canvas or something. Yeah, we do. We do. Yep. Add mouse wheel listener mouse. Right, and now that should work. Yep, new game, blah, blah, blah. Cool, excellent. Except everything is 0. So down is 0 and up is also 0. So what's up with that? I'm probably, you know why? Because old dum-dum here forgot to put this line after here. We're still getting 0. Nah, that should actually have worked, I reckon. What is this E? Get button. Still 0. Let's have a quick another look at this thing. Oh, maybe button is the wrong thing. Maybe I actually want scroll amount. Wheel block scroll. So what are these? You've got scroll type, scroll amount equals e dot get scroll amount. See, in my mind, I was thinking that a scroll up is going to be like a button click. But maybe that's not correct. Unit increment. Let's try getting this amount and see what that does. Because if that does like positive and negative, this could be perfect. Let's just, what does it say here? Returns the number of units that should be scrolled per click of the mouse wheel rotation. Returns the number of clicks the mouse wheel was rotated as an integer. Oh, this is what we want. A partial rotation may occur if the mouse supports high resolution wheel. Okay. Let's get this rotation. So that's 1, and that's -1. Yes, yes, now we're talking. Okay. So, and let's get rid of this stupid system out so we don't have that coming up every time. Right. So if we're in our box, let's get mouse dot get wheel. No. Not quite done with this. What have you got here? Oh, okay. Yes, please. Whew. That's a spicy drink. Ugh! That's strong. What is this mess? Let's tidy this up. I hate having these parentheses all out like this. Right now, so this is wrong, isn't it? We're not using get button, we're using mouse W. We wanted, what were we getting? Scroll type. Wheel rotation? No, it wasn't that, was it? Returns the number of clicks. Oh yeah, as an integer. Terminate. Cool. Get wheel. I swear I made a getter. Get. Oh, I called it wheel. Let's call it get W. Just so we're all self-consistent now. Right, get W. If so if this is greater than 0, let's move everything. This is where this vertical boolean actually might be handy. Yeah, I'm going to go back to having this. Right, and then vertical. Make sure we can spell properly. Vertical. Uncomment that. Bring this variable back. So if right, because if we're vertical, we want to scroll vertically, and if else we want to scroll horizontally. So if our mouse wheel is less than 0, that can be I'm assuming that's going to be down. Right, like that. Else scroll up. Does that work? I think that works in a line like that. If our mouse get W, come on, get W is, oh, I've done greater, less than 0. It's less than 0. Let's scroll left. Else we'll scroll right. Cool. Error? What error? Oh, yeah. So now we need to put in here, like, I guess horizontal? No, not horizontal. False will be horizontal. Okay, get this thing opened up. And nothing's happening. Okay, let's do a system out here. So if this works, we're in the box, right? Thank you. Huh. Yeah, we're not getting inside the box at all. Oh, there's your problem. Well, why the flip not, though? It's not anywhere. Oh, hang on. Oh no, that's just those things. Okay, that's a bit weird. So this gets this, which sets it, and then we return it. Doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with that function. Let's put a bracket there. Plus okay, and then let's see what our corners are, right? Plus, let's go x1 plus x2 plus y1 plus y2. Now, what are you mad about here? Oh, there's a comma there that shouldn't be there. So why are our corners 0, 0, 0? That's obviously the problem. I thought we set them. Here we do. We set our corner pins. So where do we... We're creating this in... make that public. In here, let's go ahead and set position. Right, let's make a copy of this in dock panel. What? No, not dock panel. That was a bit stupid. In here, in scroll panel, override that function. Because after we've set, we actually want to go ahead and set our corner pins. Like this. And let's make sure we get the vector version of that function too. Oh, getting a bit lost here. Yep, there it is. Copy that. Put it there. And you will also set corner pins like so. Now, if we go ahead, this can stay private. What was that set function? Private. Right, so clearly there's a problem. We're not quite lining up here. Is that 500, 500? Looks like it is. Actually, we're bang on. Except for the fact that our width and height are obviously incorrect. Like that shouldn't be 500. That should be, not 500. Do I need to set the size as well? We already set size. It has width and height here. Width, height, position. My test panel. Does this have no size? Yeah, this never gets a size applied to it. That's just our dock panel. That is, yeah, not the correct panel. So we need, why does it have a size then? Because it's drawing with a size. Maybe it has a default size. Let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, it does have a default size of 300 by 200, which is probably what we were seeing. Yeah, so we want to make sure we set our size. I almost want to make this like a really small number, like 10, like a really weird shape, like 1040 or something, and then it's going to be super obvious that that is the default value. Maybe even weirder. Let's make it 740. It's a super weird shape. And then that needs to be overwritten every time. So test panel dot set size, set background size. Can we not set size? Huh. That should definitely be a function for that. Set size double y, width equal x, height equal y. Do these need to be cast to integers? Yes, they do. And let's set our background size as well. Width. Oh, it takes a vector. New vec2i, width and height. Cool. So now in here we can call set size. Set size. No, not width and height. Let's make it like 100, 100. Right. Now, hopefully our scroll box actually works. Still not working. The size is still wrong. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, duh. Because, right, yeah, this is just our default version. Then we want to make a override in scroll panel. Override this, and after we make sure we set corner pins, yes, inbox, right, see that? Over here, now we're getting inbox. So now, if we're inbox, okay, scroll is still not working. We're halfway there though. So this can all get deleted. That works now. So in here, if vertical, so we set that to false, so we're doing horizontal, which is this. Scroll left, scroll right. Let's system out what our mouse is. Before we actually do that, let's just see if this is even running. It says scrolling all the time when I'm inside of here. That should not happen. What's going on? So when we're in the box, if we're in the box, I guess we do run this all the time if we're inside the box. I think what's happening is when we scroll, we set the value, and when we get the value, we probably want to reset that to be 0, and then it will only run one time. So where's our getter? Return mouse B, return mouse W, then let's mouse W equal mouse scroll event Wasn't it mouse scroll event? Mouse wheel event. Wheel event. No event. No button. It's so stupid. They call it no button, but it's not a button. Unreachable code. Oh, no shit, because we're returning here. So all we need to do is move that above that, but make sure we make like a int equal mouse were. Cool. So now we still have this problem. What the fuck? Why are we scrolling? It shouldn't be less than 0. What actually is it? Why don't we just print it out and see what it is? Yeah, so that's right. It's getting set once. When I call it, it goes back to 0. That you can see goes 1 and then straight back to 0. Right, but if it's 0, then why the fudge are we scrolling? Yeah, okay, because this else is wrong. So we want if else. Else if, right? Dump this in here and make that first. If, and same with that. So that solves our scrolling problem. I mean the repeating problem. So it will only happen once per scroll now. But why is it actually not doing anything? So we have scroll up, scroll down, and these call set component offset with the direction. And this is correct. Left, left, right, right, up, up. Yep, that's correct. Which comes us to here, and then we don't need this. So if it's up, we set our offset, which looks correct. Right, and then we get out of this switch, and then we apply. No, what? What is this line of code? I don't even remember typing that. All right, full confidence now. This is definitely gonna work. And it still doesn't. Okay. Yep. that's correct, and we're still getting negatives, zeros, and positives, so that is good. Set our offset. Is there a problem with move? Maybe there's a problem with move. That looks pretty legit. Are we calling move? Moving. Oh, call it scrolling. Right. Let's just print out vec.x plus this plus vec.y. Why are you mad at me? Oh, because we missed a plus here. Okay, so down doesn't work, but up works. Hey, it's working! Look at that! Alrighty. I don't know if you can see that because my stupid taskbar is in the way. This little button here. There we go. Right, watch new game. So if I'm scrolling my wheel, nothing's happening. If we're in the box and we scroll, we are now scrolling our thing. Right? Down doesn't work for some stupid reason, but clearly you can see it works. So the next step after this, obviously, apart from fixing this stupid bug, is to make it so that set like the corner pins for this to also be a clip region. So when our button leaves the panel, it will just clip off and it won't render it outside of the panel. And then we can just fill this with as many buttons as we want, and it will just have like, it will show which ones are visible in the panel. And then if we scroll left, it will bring them in. If we scroll right, it will bring them in from the other side. And we'll just do one quick little test more here, just to really prove that it works with multiple things. If we did another, like one of these, made it test image 2, and then we add, make sure we add our test image 2. But we'll give it a slightly different X position, like 700, right? You know what, I'm actually just gonna bring this up a little bit too, just so that we don't have it like so far down the screen. Yeah, there you go. So down doesn't work still, but up works. And I suppose we can do one more really quick test. If I made this true, now we should have vertical scroll instead of horizontal scroll. Another thing you could add to make this really fancy is, which I may do, probably not tonight, is put a little bar here that you can like click and drag with your mouse, and then it will apply the same like offset, and there you go. So you can see we're moving down now. You know, and then if it's vertical, you would have a scroll bar going this way and then one going that way. Right now you can only control it with the mouse wheel, which is, you know, fine for the moment. Yeah. All right, well, I might call it a night, guys. My dinner's ready, so I'm gonna go eat some food. Maybe do some more work on this tomorrow. Get those clip zones set up and have the buttons actually clipping outside of the outside of the panel. Yeah. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with more content.